Welcome to OKState Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. We're going to jump right into BYU's first possession, the first play of the game here. Just a long ball, Corey Black in man coverage. Parker Robertson there. You see coming over from a safety spot. Parker had a really, really nice first half. Good coverage by Corey Black, probably a little bit of pass interference, but give Lassiter credit. He just created separation right there at the end and was able to haul in the pass. You see Jeff Robertson doing a good job on that back out concept. That's probably where Parker Robinson was going to go with the ball. And remember that back out concept because they're going to use that against the Cowboys here in a minute. Let me go ahead and fast forward this here. Watch Jeff Robertson right here. Watch him on the back out and watch him cover it. See how he gets that back out right there. That's probably where Retzlaff was wanting to go with the ball once that Robertson had that covered. It was just kind of a throwaway situation. And then just a little bubble screen to make your second down play a little bit easier. Here comes the stretch power read. Right guard there pulls. Great job of Oklahoma State reading that right guard pulling and getting up in the hole and playing physical and actually beating BYU at the point of contact. And then this. Very disappointing, no doubt about it. You see Lyric Rawls was just a touch late coming over from his backside safety spot. But you remember that back out concept that BYU just ran just a minute ago, right? Let me actually back up to that third down play right here. So what you're going to see right here, they're going to have a back out here, which is going to be Kendall Daniels. Kendall Daniels is going to cover this back out. And because of that, he's going to widen out and get too far outside. Parker Robertson, you're going to see, is going to have a pretty clean shot at the running back, but BYU does a great job of pulling H-back to account for him. Lyric Rawls had a chance from the backside, but just got there a little bit too late. Came a little bit too flat down the line of scrimmage. Right there's Lyric, you see. And because of that, the Cowboys gave up the opening touchdown to the BYU Cougars, and they go down 7-0. And Garrett Rangel, not the exact way that you want him to make his very first start, being down 7-0 on the road. Toughest environment OSU, Mike Gundy said, has ever played in. And to be honest with you, just not a very good pass. But then you see this, you're like, okay, well, that looks nice. A quarterback that can make something happen. You see the offensive line play right here. There's a lead up by Ollie Gordon. There is good offensive line play downfield. So a good play for Garrett Rangel. And the way you're going to get him going and get him feeling good is through the run game. Let him get his pads popped a little bit. Let him kind of get a little bit of energy going from that perspective. Oklahoma State, they run that zone, and that inside zone back to the boundary. Good job by Ollie Gordon right there. Watch the center, Joe Michalski right there. Okay, so the reason why I circled him is, so this GT counter, what's happened is with Oklahoma State, they pulled these guards and tackles, and these backside 9 techs have just chased those pullers, and they have blown up the mesh point because of it. So the adjustment Oklahoma State made, so once this 9 tech chases the pullers, what Oklahoma State's done is they've started peeling Joe Michalski right here back to that 9 tech. See that 9 tech chase that right there, and Michalski's going to come back, and he's actually going to, this guy right here, he's actually going to pick up that blitz right there, and he is going to make it to where Ollie Gordon actually has the ability at least to get back to actually get good yardage, but back to the line of scrimmage because of the blocking, probably got 5 yards just because he is Ollie Gordon. And this is a really nice concept. One thing I really like is the fact that Oklahoma State used a lot of motion. And then I've said many different times what I wanted, instead of running the GT and the gap scheme stuff, just run zone away. So watch the offensive lineman. You're going to zone this way, back to the field. That's going to make the defense flow this way. You're going to fake a handoff this way, and then Ollie Gordon's going to hit the back door. So watch this. Zone left, and then cut back to the right. That is basically a block down scheme. It's another way to get to the gap scheme concepts. It's allowing the flow to wash one way, cutting it back behind the flow, which we know Ollie Gordon is very, very good at that cutback. And then watch Josh Ford and Jake Schultz just annihilate their men right here. Watch these two. Boom, right there. And it is Katie, bar the door, Ollie Gordon for 6, and the Cowboys tie it up. And a great response early in Provo, Utah. A crazy crowd, a good job fitting right there. Again, we said Parker Robertson had a really good first half. Good play by him. Jake Retzlaff has a really live arm. Good coverage there. That's Kobe Hilton, I believe, that's in that coverage. And then a swing right here. That should be linebacker. You see Jeff Robertson heading out there. And So a really good defensive possession. And what you're going to see from Oklahoma State's defense throughout the evening is that Coach Nardo had them in the right positions, but they just simply didn't tackle. I mean, if there was one thing that I would say about this game for OSU, it's that just they got to get better at tackling, especially in space. Their tackling in space is just not very good at all. And there's Brennan Presley. Oklahoma State didn't use Brennan a whole lot early in the game, but boy, when they started using him late, did he ever come through for the Cowboys. Caught the pass there at the end. There you see Josh Ford in motion again. Now, why do you run that motion for Josh Ford? Watch the safety here. Follow Josh Ford all the way across the field. So now that lets Garrett Rangel know that they're in man-to-man coverage, and because of that, now he can throw that slant because that safety is gone out of the middle of the field that Josh Ford just moved out of the middle of the field. So the Cowboys are using motion to manipulate defenders to get them out of the holes that they are wanting to throw to. And so that's just a really good run scheme there for OSU. And now it's a 3rd down and 3. You really need to get this first down because you're deep in your own territory. And then here's Garrett Rangel. This is supposed to be a run right back up the middle. Give BYU credit. They just plugged that middle. Probably going to be a quarterback draw off of the play fake. BYU had it covered. Right here you can see this is going to be a draw right back up the middle right there. But then again, Garrett Rangel did not find an opening, tried to outrun the defensive end to the corner and couldn't do it, so Oklahoma State had to punt, gave the ball back to BYU. BYU gets it on their own 33-yard line, and there's just a good pass by Retzloff. Again, that's just, if you hit that hole behind the corner in front of the safety, that's really difficult. You see Oklahoma State in man coverage. Good job by Kendall Daniels covering his back out, and then just, hey, that's pretty good coverage for Oklahoma State. They're not playing bad defense at all to this point. And then this right here, this was very, very disappointing that you just allowed that much yardage on a 2nd down and 10 play on a very basic play here for BYU. No pullers, none of that, just a zone to the right, really just kind of base blocking. And you can see right here, just one linebacker in the middle of the field overruns the play, and there's Kobe Hilton right here. Parker Robinson in the middle of the field. Their linemen climb up on them. Oklahoma State has 4 men down. They have basically one safety in the middle of the box. They have Kendall Daniels out on the edge, and because of that, BYU picks up on that, and they run right back up the middle where Oklahoma State is not as reinforced, and give them credit because they just did a really good job. Actually, that is Justin Wright right there. I said that's Parker Robertson. That's actually Justin Wright. It was good to see him back on the field. But anyways, too light of a box there, and there's just a great job by Colin Clay setting up a big 4th down for BYU. Boy, on the road, you would like to keep the lead. You would like to be the team that just kind of controls the tempo and controls the pace, but give BYU credit for just being more physical than Oklahoma State at the point of contact. And here you can see Oklahoma State's fitting gaps well. They're playing pretty good defense. BYU is really having to execute difficult plays to move the ball. And there's that just kind of under that shallow cross that BYU runs so much with their tight ends. Matter of fact, that's pretty much the exact play, if you remember last year, that they kept running and they kept completing it. This tight end right here on that shallow cross. And then remember in the overtime, that's the play that they ran. Trey Rucker actually tackled this and strip fumbled and recovered the fumble for the victory for Oklahoma State in Stillwater. BYU loves that little shallow cross with their tight end / hybrid players. Here's a little twist up front for Oklahoma State. Again, just not good enough pressure on Retzloff. He's able to throw the ball any way he wishes. He can step into it. He can step to either side of it. Here you see right guard pulling, and then BYU, hey, Coach Gundy said they run 2 trick plays a game. Oklahoma State repped this many different times throughout the week. Parker Robinson did a great job of just staying home on it, and Oklahoma State gets a lot of early momentum and get the ball at their own 23-yard line, ready to go and take the lead. And then this. Hey, Garrett Rangel has a live arm. He is a young player. Turnovers are not good. I have a hard time being too upset with him, though. He is just very amped up, At this point, it's 1st and goal. this is not going to be a good situation. So just a mistake from a young player, probably trying to have his cake and eat it too, a little bit too much. When you see Garrett Rangel here, he is a very aggressive-minded player. Maybe could have hit something underneath a little bit easier right here. Maybe hit this one right here to Ollie Gordon, or hit this right here just on the, you're showing the numbers there to Brennan Presley. Just throw the thing to Brennan Presley. Instead, he goes for the entire enchilada, right? And so more so than anything, I think that's just Garrett Rangel trying to be aggressive after a turnover, and because of that, Oklahoma State throws basically a pick six all the way down to the 1 yard line, and BYU was going to move it in from there. Just a very difficult situation for the defense to be in. So now Lavelle Edwards Stadium is absolutely rocking and rolling. Hey, you remember that zone away that Ollie scored on just a minute ago? So more of the same type of concept. You're going to zone left. You're going to let the entire defense wash to their right. See that defensive end chasing the running back there, Sesi Valahi. That's what teams have been doing against Oklahoma State all year. And because Alan Bowman either has chosen not to run or the coaches have had him not run, we have not had the ability to make this 9-tech right here that's chasing the run game. We have not had the ability to make him pay for that. And then everybody's mad at the offensive line when it really has nothing to do with them. But when you put in a running quarterback, now if that 9-tech wants to chase the mesh point, see right there, now you have a quarterback that can keep it, and whoop, there he goes, good yardage. So now BYU has to think twice about crashing that 9-tech. They got to keep him home, and then that will allow Ollie Gordon a lot better space to run with. And there you swing Ollie out to the sideline. Just get him in space. I love just get Ollie Gordon the ball in as many different ways as you can in space, and let him try to just beat a couple of defenders from that perspective. Another nice play where, again, you have a zone left scheme here. So now I always talk about adding prongs. So, you have the zone left. One time Ollie cut it back behind the wash. The next time Garrett Rangel, he pulled the ball and got behind the wash. Same concept with two different players. Now you're going to do the same thing with a lead blocker in fullback right here. I believe that is Josh Ford leading up right there. That is, so now you've run the exact, that's not Josh Ford. So now you've run the same concept in 3 different ways, and it has been very, very effective. Kind of a different wrinkle to the split zone concept that OSU runs quite a bit. Good job of Rashad Owens posting up the middle of the field on that mini slant. One thing I wish Oklahoma State would do is I wish they would get him the ball more. Boy, there is a really, really nice throw from Garrett Rangel to Talon Shetron. And if you need to know how competitive Garrett Rangel is, he just threw the pick six. He is not afraid whatsoever. I love that post up in the middle of the field. Been screaming forever. Throw the ball in the middle of the field. Again, it's like a 10-yard throw to get 12 yards. And there's just a good job by Ollie Gordon hitting the hole. That's one thing I've said all year. Hit the hole. I know a lot of times there isn't a hole open, but whatever sliver of a hole there is, just find it and hit it. And there's another, just positive aspect of having a mobile quarterback. A mobile quarterback doesn't always have to run, but this is like what Mike Gundy, Josh Fields used to do. Just be able to scramble around long enough to be able to find an open receiver. And that open receiver was Tyler Foster. Good job. And then here's another, just a great job of Casey Dunn, just getting Ollie Gordon in space. Oklahoma State takes it to the house. Ollie Gordon is showing off. So Oklahoma State gets the ball back, and it is right before half. You can see there, 3:42 on the clock. And you're thinking, hey, man, there's Rodney Fields Jr. I'm telling you, I saw him at Dell City. This dude is the real deal. Reminds me of kind of like a Gerald Hudson, an Andre Richardson, maybe even a Kendall Hunter type running back, shifty and quick, and man, does he hit the hole, and man, is he decisive. I love the two-back type of stuff because you're giving multiple flow reads to the defense, and they're having to honor both of those flow reads. Rodney Fields there, you see just hitting the hole, so you're thinking 2:53 to go in the first half. Oklahoma State gets the ball to start the second half. If you can go score a touchdown here, there's that motion again from Ford. See number 1 chase him. That tells Garrett Rangel that they are in man coverage. That tells him exactly what he needs to do based on that man coverage, and that is keep the ball and run. Boy, just a difficult Unfortunate break there from Garrett Rangel. This is a tough kid. If you can't tell, I am very, very high on Garrett Rangel. I just love his competitive nature. I love C92 right here, squeezing down, chasing that flow again like they've done all year. Garrett Rangel making him pay for that. And, man, he almost had get away from the cop speed, right? We remember that play at Texas Tech about 10 years ago from Clint Shelf, and that's just how tough Garrett Rangel is. You couldn't even tell he was hurt when he got up. Alan Bowman comes in now, and you're thinking we still have to figure out a way to run the ball. And I know all Oklahoma State fans, that is just absolutely poetic justice that Alan Bowman comes in his first play that he runs, he throws the ball way out of the back of the end zone. I know some Oklahoma State fans, I'm sure they were getting a good chuckle out of that. Now you have a 3rd down and 3. This is just a great individual effort from Ollie Gordon. This is what you like to see. Just bust the hole open. There's another one of those zone plays where you cut back behind the wash. I love that zone away concept that Oklahoma State ran. It's basically just a different version of the concepts of the gap scheme where you try to get the defense to go one way and then you cut it back the other. And now Oklahoma State is adding to that a lead blocker, and it is to the house for Ollie Gordon. Oklahoma State scores right before half, and then they also get the ball to start the second half. And you're just thinking right here, man, if Oklahoma State could go score and take a 14-point lead, good job, Alan Bowman, running the ball right here. You got to keep the defense honest. If you don't, again, those 9 techs are just going to crash down on Ollie, and those are unblocked players, so got to keep them honest enough. There's that GT scheme again for Oklahoma State. That's what I've been talking about. When I say GT, I mean the guard and tackle are pulling. And so Oklahoma State has done a couple of things to keep. So as you pull that guard and tackle, this might be actually be guard and H-back right there. This 9 tech has just been unblocked, which it's designed to unblock, but then he's been just chasing. See how he's chasing that mesh point right there? Not able to get it right because, see, look at his eyes now because Alan Bowman's ran it a couple times, because Garrett Rangel's ran it a couple times. Although he is upfield, he's actually checking in on Alan Bowman. That slight hesitation gives Ollie Gordon the time that he needs not to get beat at the mesh point. And whenever you give Ollie Gordon that amount of time, again, just keep the ball just enough to keep those defensive ends honest. Good job, Alan Bowman. He's showing the first down there like Ollie Gordon likes to do, having a good time at this point. You see Josh Ford pulling around there and leading the way for Alan Bowman on that split zone concept. Good blocking from Ashad Owens downfield. There's that cutback play again. A good job there by Sesi Valahi. Again, zone right, cut it back after the defense washes behind all the wash and get good yards. There's a double lead play for Rodney Fields and Sesi Valahi. And that's a good job by Sesi of just falling forward and getting as many yards as you possibly can to set up a 3rd down and very, very manageable. Ollie Gordon right here, dove to the house. Oh, man. I was just hoping he broke that tackle and got further downfield than he did there. You're just thinking right there. See, there's a block down there. Is that split zone kick. The block down kick, same thing as the gap scheme, just getting to it through a zone concept, and just a great job. And this time, Ollie, you know that Glasker's a really good player at linebacker for BYU. They have figured that out. They throw a couple linebacker blitzes up the middle, so Alan Bowman has to get the ball out of his hands really quick. And then right here, just absolutely nothing going on, setting up a screen. Good job by him of getting the ball all the way back to the line of scrimmage. So it was not an intentional grounding, which would have been even worse. So Oklahoma State has to punt. They give the ball to BYU, and here is just a very disappointing run play. You know, you have some momentum. You've played some pretty good offense, and then you just let BYU kind of out the gate here. Here you see they lead up an H-back right here. This isn't anything that's overly complicated. You see right here, defensive end gets pinned to the inside. That has been a problem with Oklahoma State. See that defensive end get pinned right there. Now you have Kendall Daniels coming up, fitting outside shoulder right there, not able to get off his block. There is no safety in sight right here. Kobe Hilton is going to be late to the party, and because of that, Lyric Rawls is having to chase him down, and BYU gets out the gate. Very disappointing right there of a first down play, and that just sets the tone for the entire series. Good play by Jeff Robertson. Kobe Hilton getting up there into the line of scrimmage, and then take just missed tackles. Again, in position to make the play, and this is that cutback play OSU has ran. See how OSU wadded everything great. Linebackers Kendall Daniels, Jeff Robertson are going to fit the play side of it. So right now what you got to have is you got to have a safety and Walter Scheid on the back side of that to cut back the cutback lane. So Walter Scheid needs to squeeze this down. He needs to make that running back have to kick it out here on that cutback. But instead, because Walter Scheid, see how Walter Scheid gets his butt turned to the sideline? That gives this lane right here to the running back. That puts him in space against Lyric Rawls, and Lyric Rawls just misses. I mean, we saw that all night long. Great hustle by Parker Robertson. We saw that all night long where OSU safeties came flying in. They were in position to make plays. Good play there by Kobe Hilton, but just left their feet and just simply didn't tackle. I mean, that was a theme that really lost the game for Oklahoma State, and give BYU credit. This is a very nifty play. They have shown option a lot on film, and they ran it here at a good time. So much of play calling is just about timing. And this is a speed option, meaning you're not going to block the play side defensive end. You're going to want him to attack the quarterback, see defensive end attack the quarterback there. As soon as he attacks, now he cannot get any kind of bubble on that running back. See, so as the defensive end attacks that quarterback, now he does not have any way of making this running back bubble it. So that gives the running back just really a head of steam just to move straight forward. And when you have a lead blocker, an H-back in front, that's a good concept. Defensive end right there needs to slow play that, needs to try to bubble that to the sideline a little bit more than Oklahoma State. So you're seeing Oklahoma State is in position. They're doing things to give themselves a chance to make plays, just not finishing plays. A few fundamentals here and there are costing them. There is the same theme again. That's Parker Robertson this time, I believe. Just leave your feet, watch safety come up right here at a clean shot at it. And hey, in this odd stack, that you have to have safeties that make plays, right? This is where you miss Trey Rucker. Another clean shot from a safety right there. Leave your feet once again and miss the tackle. Another missed tackle on the outside, and it's to the end zone. And give LJ Martin credit too, though. He is a really good running back, and he has not been healthy that much to this point in the season. That's why Retzloff had been the leading rusher for BYU. So now Oklahoma State, very disappointing. You scored right before half. You had the ball coming out of second half. You had a chance to take a 14-point lead, and instead now you see with 3:10 to go in the third quarter, you're actually down a touchdown. So that is very disappointing. Right here is where you're worried about, at least I was. Oklahoma State thinking, well, we kind of threw some kitchen sinks at them. We've done a good job playing. We've done all this, and we're still down 7, especially whenever you throw this interception right here. Really the only bad play of the night from Alan Bowman. That actually wasn't an interception there, just an incomplete pass. This is Rodney Fields. Look at that. That is a bolt of lightning right there. Rodney Fields is a young man that is going to be a very, very good player. Look how hard he hits the hole. Look how decisive he is, and then look how quick he is and running away right there from the safety. That's just a really good run, Rodney Fields. That a boy low to the ground, low center of gravity. I really like what he brings. There's that GT scheme again. Rodney Fields gets behind it, doesn't get any yardage. So Oklahoma State is kind of twofold here. They're trying to score, obviously, but then also they're trying to play kind of slow and take some time off the clock. We saw that with the 8-minute drive at the end of the regulation. And there's just a good pass to Talon Shetron again on that inside slant. Good pass by Alan Bowman. Tyler Foster there on the little kind of V-whip. Did a good job. And then right there's Lofton, another young receiver in the program that has promise. Oklahoma State has a lot of receiving depth, and so that's very promising. I don't know how many of them will be back for next year, but at least you know the depth won't be completely depleted. You like that little swing there. Got to break that tackle right there and get a little bit better yardage from that perspective. Fourth quarter starts here. Now, here is the throwback. Now, what I want you to take you back, here is the beauty in these two plays, okay? This is really great offensive coordinating from from Casey Dunn. So you're going to see motion right here, right? Okay, so watch this corner right here. Chase the motion, okay? Remember that, okay? So as he chases that motion, look who's down here to the bottom. Absolutely nobody, right? Once that corner number 2 chases that motion, there is nobody to the bottom of that formation. Don't you know Oklahoma State did that on purpose? Because the very next play, watch this same motion again, right there, okay? There, but this time it's Brennan Presley, okay? Watch that same, this time it's a safety. Watch this safety chase Brennan Presley. Once that safety's gone and that corner is ran off, here is that same empty flat right there to throw it back to Alan Bowman. So, yes, this is a great play. It's a trick play. Trick plays are always fun, but it was a trick play that was totally set up by Oklahoma State. Great scheming by Casey Dunn, and so just a great job right there. Parker Robinson coming up. If it's getting to Parker Robertson, there is a problem there. Kendall Daniels fires. Another great play from Colin Clay. Hey, you just scored. You just made a nice play by Colin Clay. It is 3rd down and about 3. Get yourself off the field. Come on, defense. Robertson is chasing the back out there. This is a good scheme by BYU. So right here, you're going to see this back swing right here. That's going to move Robertson out to chase him, right? See how Robertson has back out. And because of that, that's going to open that window in the middle of the field, just that scat concept. And Kendall Daniels just did not do a good job of understanding right there where Chase Roberts was going to try to defeat him. Chase Roberts always tries to defeat you to the inner part. So to me, Kendall Daniels should have bracketed him to the inside. And then here's just that's kind of that flag route, that 7 route that is so difficult to stop. Cameron Epps was in coverage there for any defense, whether it be man or zone. And no different here for Cameron Epps, Kobe Hilton dropping. But whenever the problem with that play is the coverage is okay, but there's too much time for the quarterback to throw. Because, I mean, this is a crosser that comes all the way across the field to catch that ball. See, I mean, that's a crosser right there. See him? That's actually this guy right here that catches it. So if you're going to allow this guy right here the time to cross all the way across the field, that's just never going to work. You got to get home faster. You got to get more pressure on the quarterback, because there's just no way, no matter what coverage you're in, you're going to be able to defend receivers that are as good as what. See, here's that cross again right there. Got to get to the quarterback, and you're in trail position as a defender there. Here comes, that is Lyric Rawls firing. Good outside leverage. That is one of the best leverage plays of the night defensively. So whenever you come up and you fit that alley, you want to fit outside if you're the safety. You want to kick it back to your linebacker and defensive end. See Walter Scheid there. He stays home and he squeezes down, and then that's that same speed option. Remember last time our defensive end chased the quarterback and attacked the quarterback, and it gave that running back that clear lane to start downfield. Well, watch Walter Scheid does a great job of recognizing that same speed option and instead gets flat down the line of scrimmage. Now he's going to force that running back actually to have to stop and actually run sideways outside first instead of getting upfield. Great job of Lyric Rawls fitting out. When Lyric Rawls fits to the outside of this blocker, that allows Walter Scheid to play that half a hole inside and make the play there. And so that sets up a 3rd down and about 2. Another opportunity again for this defense to get off the field. Oklahoma State has 8 men in the box, and L.J. Martin just finds a way to bob and weave upfield enough to get the 1st down. That was a disappointing sequence. Again, Oklahoma State's had a couple of chances to get themselves off the field. They have not been able to do it. There's another missed tackle from Kendall Daniels, who fires, but safety cleans up. I believe that was Lyric Rawls that cleaned up after Kendall Daniels missed that tackle. And now here's another situation, okay? You've got Oklahoma State where just get yourself off the field. They did a good job, good coverage there. And Oklahoma State finally has figured out a way to get off the field. BYU kicks the field goal, and they're going to take a 3-point lead. So that leads us to one of the best drives of the season for Oklahoma State. And this is the 8-minute drive, or over 8-minute drive, to take the lead down 3. There is that same play Oklahoma State. They ran on the throwback. They ran right before the throwback. And, hey, that's basically a run play. Just swing at your running back in space. Let them make a play. And that is a great throw to Rashad Owens. Hey, Alan Bowman, after the initial pick, the interception he threw, he played a really, really good game. He ran the ball, he threw the ball, he caught the ball, and then this is where Brennan Presley starts to take over. There's just a ball thrown behind the receiver there from Alan Bowman, not one of his best efforts. 3rd and 6, a huge play here. Boy, that is just a nice pass to the freshman Josh Ford. Sets up a 4th down and 1. Oklahoma State had a couple of 4th downs on this drive, but that's just a really nice pass. Threw it to the numbers. Josh Ford did a good job of turning around, showing the numbers. And then there's Rodney Fields busting in the hole just enough. I was glad to see that spot. You never know on the road what kind of spot you're going to get there. Oklahoma State, I think there's no doubt, as you see here, Rodney Fields definitely got across right there. See that? He definitely got across the sticks. So it was a good spot. You just worry that on the road, I'm going to show you right there. See, he's across the 1st down marker right there. You're just worried because if you don't get the initial spot and you go to replay, they never change that on replay. So that was very close, and it was 4th down. So if you don't get it, that turns it over to BYU. But Oklahoma State gets the 1st down, and now they're on the move. You see the clock down to 5:33. You're in good shape because all you need is a field goal. More motion from Brennan Presley, more two-back stuff. Presley just slips right back up underneath. Same concept as that swing pass to the running back, but this time it's just right underneath. It's a linebacker cover, and Casey Dunn figured out how to get Brennan Presley covered by a linebacker. So you know that is just really good scheming from Casey Dunn. Here's how motion affects things. See the motion right there, and you're going to watch BYU chase that motion. Let me back it up here. See how BYU number 0 chases that motion right there? Okay, let me back that up. I'm actually having a hard time here. So 0 right here. He's going to chase number 5. And when he chases that motion, that's going to leave this side of the field open for Alan Bowman. So that's a great job of using motion to make a lane for Alan Bowman to run through. I'm not exactly sure how they determined that he didn't get the 1st down here, but I'm really glad that Ollie Gordon busted through there and made no mistakes about it. 2nd, 4th down of the drive. Oklahoma State is cooking. You're in field goal range. It'd be a long field goal, but you would certainly hate to have a 47-yard field goal, which is where it would be from here for a kicker that's missed a couple lately, and that would be just to tie on the road. And I'm thinking, it's 2nd down and 8. We're running the ball right up the middle. This is kind of the problems we've had all year. I didn't like that play on 2nd down. So the 2-minute warning, this was just simply a fantastic underscreen. Just a great call by Casey Dunn. I mean, Casey Dunn, for the most part, was just absolutely spot on all night long. It wasn't just that he drew up good scheme, and they had good scheme to attack BYU. It was also the timing of the calls that he made. This was perfect timing. Good job, Rashad, not getting – boy, that's just a great job there by Glass, making sure that Alan Bowen had enough time to throw. Good job downfield of blocking, and Brennan Presley just does a great job. Orbit motion from Presley, swing it out to him. Great job. We've already seen that many different times. Just basically an extension of your run game, and Presley gets it down to make it a very, very short 2nd down for OSU. OSU starts in the diamond. You have both Josh Ford and Jake Schultz in the game. Brennan Presley motion again. You see the safety 0 chasing him, and then because of that, they get confused. You throw the ball to Brennan Presley. Brennan Presley is able to get in the end zone, and because of that, Oklahoma State takes the lead. All right, so here we go. Oklahoma State has the lead. They just took the lead 35-31, a little bit over a minute to go, and really just a nice play right off the bat. Good drive on the football, and Kendall Daniels, you see out there, Parker Robertson, and just a good play. So now the time is ticking off, just 1:06. It's now 2nd down. Good job by the Cowboys just funneling this to the outside, playing that to the sideline. We're going to see that be a problem from Jeff Robertson, but there by Kobe Hilton. Good job of playing inside leverage, forcing the running back to the sideline, which gives him no more ability to run. And right here, Jake Retzloff decides to throw it. Nobody open, and you're thinking, wow, if you could somehow get off on 4th down here, how amazing that would be. But you're thinking, this is Oklahoma State, right? It's never this easy as an OSU fan. So when you saw Chase Roberts catch this pass, I don't think anybody was surprised whatsoever, because nothing ever comes that easy for OSU. And right here, to be honest with you, got to figure out a way. Boy, that's a great tackle there, Kobe Hilton. Kobe actually played well on Friday night, in my opinion. Got to find a way to get more pressure on the quarterback. I think that is a large part of the problem with Oklahoma State, is that the quarterback just has too much room to run. And then this was the backbreaker. I mean, this was a real backbreaker here. We're going to watch Jake Retzloff. Now watch Jeff Robertson right here. Remember how Kobe Hilton played the inside leverage to force the offensive player to the sideline? Jeff Robertson, who is your spy, he's a 12-yard deep spy, just tackled it right around midfield. He plays outside leverage. He allows Jake Retzloff to cut inside of him, and because of that, he gets 12 more yards and really sets BYU up in better position. 3 missed tackles. Yes, obviously this is a broken play by BYU and their receiver, but again, if you rewind this and you look at what happened here to the Oklahoma State defense, let me rewind this and show this one more time. This is a pass, again, that just good scramble drills. But right here, here's tackle number 1. Right there, missed tackle number 1. Here comes missed tackle number 2. Right there, missed tackle number 3. That was the story of the night. Oklahoma State just had a difficult time tackling all night. And because of that, they snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory.